You're listening to
Catholic Sprouts,
the daily podcast for Catholic kids that strives to plant seeds of faith.
Hey there, Sprouts. Today is Thursday, September 10th, 2020. This week on the Catholic Sprouts podcast, we are beginning our journey as we get to know Jesus Christ and as we form for ourselves the answer to his question to us. Who do you say that I am? We've already talked about how Jesus was a real person who lived at a real place and a real time. We talked about how Jesus was 100% human, but also 100% God. And today we are forced to realize that believing both of these things, that Jesus came to earth, that he was fully God, if we really believe both of those things, we are forced to make a choice. Now, to understand what this choice is, we have to go back and look at some other religions so we know just how different, how radical it is to be a follower of Jesus Christ, to be a Christian. Because we have to make a choice so much more than people that belong to other religions. So there's three big characters I want you to think about, and these come from other religions. The first one is Moses. Moses is probably the most important figure in the Jewish faith. He was very important to Jesus Christ as he grew up a Jew, and he remains the most important figure to Jews today. Moses saw God. God himself gave Moses the Ten Commandments and several other laws about pretty much everything that a Jew did. He was very important. Now, next, let's look at the character of Muhammad. Muhammad is the great prophet for Muslims. According to what they believe, he had an encounter with God, and he came back once again with several laws and rules about how someone should live. Now, the last person is Buddha. He is a figure in Buddhist religion, and he also has lots of guidelines and rules for how a person should live. So these three characters, to their credit, they never claimed to be God himself. Instead, they claimed to have this knowledge through an encounter with God, and through that, they were given a way that would help others get closer to God as well. I encountered God, and here is a way so that you can live better and encounter him as well. So those three characters, Moses, Buddha, and Muhammad. Now, let's put Jesus Christ next to these three characters. Jesus Christ sometimes in modern thought has been reduced to a prophet that also gave us a way to be happy and holy. But Jesus, that's not correct. Jesus did not give us a way to be happy and holy. He said very clearly something different. He said, I am the way. I am the way. Well, these other three characters said, here's a list of rules to help you make your way to holiness. Jesus said, I am the way. Now, the reason why this statement is so important, why it makes Christianity so different from everything else, because Jesus is saying, I'm not offering you rules or suggestions. I'm saying either you live in me, you give everything that you are to me so that you exist in me, or you don't. You either live in me or you live against me. It is very clear cut. We either give everything that we are so that we exist exclusively in the way to God, in Jesus Christ himself, or we are against him. Jesus says this boldly. He says, either you are with me or you are against me. Now, I know that this might be a little intimidating to know that Jesus Christ is the way, that we have to give him everything or we will have nothing. But this is what it means to be Christian. This is what it means to believe that Jesus is Lord. That there's no half, there's no partial. It's a complete giving of self to Jesus so that we might exist in the way to God. So here's what I challenge you to do today, Sprouts. First of all, I challenge you to have a conversation about what we just talked about. How do we give all that we are to Jesus? And I want to assure you that this is something adults are still figuring out, that adults are still examining and trying to do a little bit better every day. So don't worry. But I also want you, in the private of your heart, to make this first choice. And this is a choice you will make every day for the rest of your life. But in the quiet of your heart, say these words. Say, I choose Christ. I choose to exist in him. And that's the first step. And we are all taking additional steps every day. But this is the first step.
That's it for Catholic Sprouts today. We'll be back tomorrow, but until then, continue to grow in your faith and truly sprout into the beautiful creation that God created you to be.
Once again, welcome to Season 3 of the podcast. If the Catholic Sprouts podcast has been powerful for you in any way, we simply ask that you consider sharing this podcast with another family or another teacher that might also enjoy listening. It is our joy to serve as many Catholic children as possible. So thank you for your help in spreading this podcast to others.